So when you have a liquid that remains a liquid inside of a solid object, it creates polarity, either within the liquid and the solid or as a whole, and creates a magnetic field. Remember, zoom out, zoom in. If it does it to the earth, then that's what's happening to us, okay? And so you have the polarity of the types of what we can be. There's no... Every evil thing that's ever been done in history was done by a human. Not by the devil, not by a dark energy, not by anything. The only dark energy there is on this planet is the dark energy that the human creates, okay? Which brings me to another one. Duality, polarity, same thing. I had to stop and I had to analyze everything around me. For a while, I was a follower of the flat Earth. It helped make sense what was already in my head, and I sat with it for a while and I held on to it for a while, and but eventually it fell back off. It didn't match anymore, and so I let it go. And I went as far as to zoom out and look at, okay, Disney. Look at Disney. Everybody says Disney's so evil and it has all these secret symbols and all of these everythings. Okay, Mark Davis was Disney's main creator, and Davis is my family's maiden name. Okay, my mom's side's maiden name is Davis. So then you have to stop and think, okay, if they're so bad and everything, why come all these new ideas of what their movies were about back in the day? Why come they're all esoteric? Why come they're all like Pinocchio? And they say that, Pinocchio has an esoteric story behind it, and if you look at all of them now, you can look back and see how they were, like the pineal gland, it was part of it. Like it's not necessarily bad, but if anybody can make anything, and you have some people who look at it as bad and some people who look at it as good, that is just perception. Okay, what you did was create something and put it out to the world, and then it's the world, each individual's perception on how they take that information in. And if they have a perverted mind, they're going to see something in the castle, okay? Or if they heard from somebody else or something in there, then they're going to look and they're going to search and they're going to find something. And yeah, sometimes things, who knows? Somebody might have been making a joke, whatever. But my point is, zoom out far enough from everything you've ever heard about it and think, is it possible that it's just a creation? And we're projecting our perspective onto it. So if that's the case, then that means that Disney was neither good nor was it bad. It was just a creation. Okay, and if they had a meaning to put behind any of it or something to drop into your head without you knowing or anything like that, it was all how you perceived it. Remember sublimination, making us think that we go from one phase to another with skipping one. It's like it's subliminal. And sublimination. Um, I'm sorry. So yeah, I mean, zoom out to the Illuminati, right? Imagine that some people back in the day, they took the Bible seriously. They looked at each word and they said, okay, like they said this is going to happen, we're going to prepare for this to happen. And so they made a society to help maintain the structure of everything until this time came. Like anything it's a possibility. Because it's a possibility, then there's a probability. And unless you were in it, no knowledge to me means that you experienced it, like witnessed it personally. You were there. You saw it happen. Everything else is second knowledge. And when you think about the fact that any piece of information that has ever made it to you, all the people that come in between you and that piece of information originating could have been manipulated at any point in time, on anywhere along that. You can't really trust anything or know and truly know anything unless you've been there, like the beach, ocean. I've never seen the ocean. So to me, it's not known knowledge that there's a giant body of water out there that I cannot see the other side of the land, the land on the other side. I can take other people's experiences and I can watch the videos, and I mean, I kind of understand that it's there. But then again, I've never witnessed it. I've never felt it. I've never seen it. So how can I say there's an ocean? Me saying there's an ocean is me taking other people's information and putting it out my mouth as my own. And that's not right. I don't speak from that. It shouldn't be that way. To be able to speak on anything, you should have experienced it. Because anywhere along the line of that information finding you, it could have been manipulated by anybody. Okay? And so I looked at the world today, where you have the government doing all the bad things with the babies, the kids. And then you have all the celebrities doing all the stuff with the kids, and then the government getting in trouble for, I can't remember what it was. Oh no, it was the music industry. The music industry versus the acting industry. The actors were getting in trouble for that, and then the music industry was getting in trouble for this. And it's like, it seems like they were just trying to point the blame at each other. And so in my eyes, the fact that I know the divine is able to put my life in a synchronistic way to give me signs and talk to me and communicate to me, that means that the divine is able to reach his hand into other people's lives and get them to do or say or to have an idea to do something that's meant for the person that's witnessing it, as a synchronicity. Like my friend the other day said, was there two black guys dressed in black that came to your house the other day? And I'm like, no, why? And he's like, well, I seen them and I thought maybe they went to your house or the neighbors. And I'm like, no, not my house. And then the next day I'm watching a music video and the screen is of a still picture of being in a living room from the person's perspective. And the front door is swung open wide and there's two men in black standing there in the doorway. And it's just a still frame for the whole music video. That's a synchronicity. Whether or not he knew what he was saying and why he was saying it, I thought he was just saying it as a funny, quirky, to be kind of cute and flirty at the time. But the next day it was like, wow. And there's things like that with music and things in my life where I have these moments where it's like, I know what they're talking about. Like, I know why they're saying what they're saying. And I go to talk to him about it, and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember saying that. I don't remember doing that. Or I did it. I didn't do it because of you. I did it because this and that. And it's like, no, but don't you realize you're speaking directly to me when you're doing or saying it? And they don't realize it sometimes. So the fact that I know the divine, everybody on this planet is just a piece of art, and the divine can come in, and people don't know why they do things sometimes. You know, they'll say something or do something like, I don't know why I did that. You did it because divine intervention. Because whatever you did or said was done in front of somebody else, and then now they hold that as a memory. They hold that as a known knowledge experience. So whenever they're looking back on their life trying to see how this all makes sense, they're going to remember that experience. They're going to remember that thing you said, because it's all part of, we're all, if the divine can do it in my life for me and can do it through other people without other people knowing, I'll see a video suggestion on YouTube Music, and the picture and the words like hit me and mean something in a so like deep way. But yet on the other end of that, that's just somebody who went with their creative aspect and put themselves out there and chose the words and chose the picture, and that was their expression. But to me, it landed to me as a synchronicity like that. I can't remember why I started talking about this part of it. Yeah, because you have to question everything. And when you zoom out far enough and you look back at everything, you can see how everything is just the way it's supposed to be, you know? And so, like, if there was a group that just held us together barely and made sure there wasn't nothing crazy, then you can look at anything they do and say it's bad, and look at anything they do and say it's good. And I choose to see good. I choose to see that people do things for a reason. And when people don't understand why they're doing that, or they don't want to take the time to understand, then they just accuse them of bad things, okay? And you have to question everything. Everything. And when you zoom out far enough and look back at everybody, and you can see that nothing is ever truly good or bad. Everything is just an expression. And the human inside of that body is the one that has control over that expression. If you do something bad and it makes you feel good, then you continue to do that. And the more power you gain from it, and the more people that'll listen. But if you do something good, I mean, if you do something bad and it makes you feel bad, then you don't ever do it again, then that's you choosing the there has to be a duality of the human. There has to be so many bad and so many good, because, and anywhere in between on the scale. I'm going to move on because I'm rambling now. So yeah, having the water inside the solid literally creates a polarity, and in my eyes, that is the polarity of the good and the bad, the light and the dark, the white blood cells versus the red blood cells. I mean, and there's nobody to blame but ourselves. And like I said, the painful part of this is when you look back on your life, when you have the information of what is and why you're here and everything, and you can see why it's better that we all work together for one instead of against each other. It's like Horton Hears the Who. See, looking back on my life, I can see how every fucking movie fits into my, like, it's a message to me. Like, I see it as a message. You know how many Disney movies I've pulled forward and being like, oh, well, yeah, like the Petrified Wood and the whatever. It made me think of Pinocchio. So, in my eyes, there was a planet, and there was a sperm, a fucking capsule of DNA that flew into a fucking egg, and then it began to multiply. And if they say that our consciousness is growing, evolving, then we're simply just cells replicating long enough until we give fucking birth. Until this life that we're inside is born. I don't know. I don't know when to begin to understand where we are on the internal of this giant thing that we're in, okay? All I know is that it makes sense. That there's literally liquid conscious life, which is the sperm. Liquid conscious life that flies into a solid object and then goes up in it and animates it. It builds the perfect structure for it to survive, okay? That makes sense, okay? Children! They're loud, I'm sorry.